That's not where we get Santa. Week 20, double digits. Wait, just kidding. I mean, 2 times 10. Okay. So anyway, this week we have Brittany on this side. If you see craziness, there she is. And to my left, your right, we have Mitchell Lee Malesko. Yeah. So this week we have a beer that came. This beer came recommended to us by a very dear friend of ours, I shall say, quite a funny man. This beer this week is Delirium Noel. You know, he might have actually recommended Delirium Trimmings.
Maybe.
This might not have been the one he recommended, second thought. So anyway, we wanted to go with like...
They had a pink elephant on it.
They all have pink elephants.
Oh.
Anyway, this one is actually a Christmas beer. We were going to try a different Christmas beer, but this one looked exceptionally interesting. It was also extremely expensive. Might hinder the ratings after we taste it. I'm not really sure. We haven't done a whole lot of research into exactly what this one is going to taste like because we want to be a little surprised. A little bit of history. It's made by Hugi Brewery. There's been brewing in Mel, Germany, which is where this is brewed, since 1654, but the Delirium brand has been brewed since 1906. So these people got some history. They like to put a pink elephant on all of their beers, and there's some story behind that.
This isn't cool. Don't do this.
Yeah, and they got a tin foil on the top. But on the plus side, as you can see, you cannot see through the bottle. That's not actually the beer. It's not white. They just have a dark outer covering, which is good because it means the beer won't spoil. So for imported beers, that's great news. So
it takes me like an hour to open it.
I think you can just bypass the foil and just like.
Oh, special.
Yeah, you can.
Wow.
I don't mean to.
Cut that part out.
There's no editing of the beer vlogs. This is 100% live. Ugh, get that in there. Why not? Okay, so here we go. It's also 10%. I should add 10%. Not too bad. You can definitely taste a little bit of the bitter hops. Would you like to taste it? Alright. You can taste a little bit of the bitterness, but I feel like it's not overly powering, similar to some of the other high gravity beers. High gravity means it's over 9% that we've had. Kind of like the Voodoo Vader. That one was blended, I think, a little better in this, but this one,
you can.
Britt doesn't like it.
You don't really taste the 10% that much, but you do taste it more than the Voodoo Vader.
Yeah, you taste more of the bitterness, but not as much of the alcohol flavoring. Does that make sense? Do you agree with that, Mitchell? Do you want to add something, Britt?
It tastes like pure alcohol. Like I'm doing a shot.
The second sip is pretty strong. You're definitely not doing a shot. It's only 10%. It's not like 70 proof or whatnots. It does get a little more bitter towards the middle. Yeah. I'm not sure why this is a Christmas beer. You don't really... I expected like some...
Mine's been pretty good so far.
I expected more Christmassy flavors though, and I don't feel like you get a whole lot of the Christmassy flavors.
What are Christmas?
I don't know. I just expected something festive to spring out of the bottle. Yeah, something warm and cinnamon, something other than a hoppy. I mean, I don't even know what other flavors are in there. Do you get anything other than just like a light bitter taste? You don't, do you? He was loving on it, and
I'm trying.
I'm trying, right?
No, there's not. You don't get a lot of flavors out of this.
I feel like the IBUs are probably high. We looked it up, we tried to look it up. We couldn't find it.
If I'm to guess, I would guess 35.
I would say it's higher than 35. I would say it's probably more towards like somewhere between a 40 and a 50. I would say like a 45 or a 50 probably. I feel like it's a little bit higher because you can definitely taste it. It is a higher alcohol content, which sometimes does come with the higher IBUs, higher bitterness. So just a guess.
Should we give $20?
It was $20 for a 4-pack. So
$5 a bottle. So.
These are pretty expensive. I mean, $5 for a beer at a bar is not bad, but $5 for a beer out of the store, a little bit expensive. So let's give this a rating. Brittany, you go first.
2.
2 from Brittany, so slightly under average. You weren't going to puke like the Hoegaarden, where we gave it a 0. Mitch will go.
3.5.
3.5.
I wouldn't buy this again. No, it's too expensive.
3.5 is, you're saying it's above average. So.
I know. Well, it's got I like its taste, but.
I mean, I think the bottle gives it at least like 2 points.
The style's good. We bypassed the red foil. I'm a little bit impartial to the higher bitter taste and the fact that it doesn't really have much else to offer. I'm not really digging it. I'm sad that it was expensive because I really wanted it to be good.
Yeah, I'm not getting a lot of bitter out of it. I don't know. not to
Well,
go up against you, but a little tiny bit. But I mean,
it's not exceptionally bitter. But I feel like there's no additional flavors other than the bitterness flavor. I'm searching for something else, and I can't find it.
I can't find any other flavors.
It's not like the Storm King where it was like 75 IBUs and it just tasted like you're sucking down a hot plant. But it's a lighter bitterness, and I just can't find any other flavors. I just can't find them. I don't know where they are. They're lost in this great bottle.
So what do you give it?
I'm going to give this a 2.25. It's less than a 2.5 for me because it's below average because I don't like the bitterness, but it's not terrible because the bitterness isn't great, but there's just nothing else there for me.
I think I enjoy red beers. That's fine.
It is red. I should have poured it into a glass. It has a nice color. I'll give it a 2.5. It's got some style points. It's got a pink elephant riding a sled. The bottle's cool. It's below average for me because there's no other flavors in there.
Alright.
That's that. Kind of a long beer book, but a very interesting beer to say the least. Will anybody else try this one? I hope so.
If someone owes you a beer, you'd tell them to pay for this.
Yeah. It's an expensive beer. That's a wrap. Week 20. It's a nice darkish, reddish amber. The screen kind of makes it look a little darker than it is, but there we go.